Morning lovely people, welcome back to Nat's Knackers Yard. I am Nat and this is my Knackers Yard and this is my CB400. I looked back at my footage yesterday and realised that I came across with a bit of a downer because it didn't all go perfect, but these things never do. So yeah, I'm not on a downer with it. I love it, it's a great bike. And I've made so much progress, so I now have brakes that work. They bind at the moment, so they are going to need some work. Haven't got my back brakes yet, although they're over there. But what do I have? I have a sealed carb. I have a sealed carb that works on 4 cylinders. Now for some reason it's not working off that tank in 4 cylinders. So when I got it from Alex to start with, he pointed out, and it was fairly obvious as well, but there was sealant all over the carbs because he was checking to see whether or not they worked before he invested in a kit, which eventually he didn't do, but I did. But there's also sealant around the petcock, around the tank, and fuel cap, fuel pump, petcock here, around the tap. So, you know, his point was it needs replacing, it's got issues. So I looked at a kit to fix it, and I really struggled to find one. I did find them on the, let's say, more speciality, i.e. not eBay. I did find them, but frankly, for the cost, you could buy a new one, which is precisely what I did. And it's down there. I just jammed a pipe on to make sure that it was still the same dimension. So, you know, that's good to go. Now, for this to work on 4 cylinders on a secondary tank, and then put on the proper tank, and it only work on 3, I think there is a fuel delivery issue. I could have caught something. I could have knocked the spark off. I have checked the spark. It has got spark on 4. That's entirely possible as well, but I'm pretty convinced that it is a fuel delivery issue, and it's the fact that that tap is not doing what it should do. It's been, you know, an admitted bodge repair on it, and it's not doing quite what it should. Now the stem, the fuel pipe stem, I just don't think is getting into there. So I don't think it's getting enough fuel on the right hand side to get that carb working. I could be completely and utterly wrong, but that is what I'm going to be testing today. I'm not going to do it now. It's early o'clock, and I don't want to be, and this thing is not quiet, so I'm not going to be revving around on that. So I thought what I'll do to start with is potentially deuce out the brake, because as much as I've got it ready for the new pads when they arrive, I haven't actually cleaned it and given it a refurb. So I need to do that at some point. I hate doing brakes, so I'm not going to do that immediately. What I do want to do is have a look at some of the electrics. Buy the electrics. I get a full beam, but I don't get a straight beam. So let's just do the basics to see whether or not it is a bulb. So rather than get too, I do have some greater concerns. Like, I have no way of, I don't know if that is original. I've got a loose wire hanging out, which always concerns me. I don't know what's been done to it in the past. So it might be the switchgear, it might just be a bulb. So let's start simple and have a look at the bulb. Right, so see if we can whip this headlight off. Now I have taken it off before, so it should be nice and simple. I just didn't look at the bulbs for some reason. Oh, that's unusual. They're not magnetic. Yeah, I'm deliberately using my JIS here just so that biker stuff doesn't get all upset. She's entirely right. I'm not having a dig. She's right. You should use the right tools for the right issue, for the right job. And the last thing I want to do is start stripping heads for no reason. Right, so as usual, I've got a bit of a bubba's muddle of wiring going on. Nothing overly strange. Small clip just holding everything in. which is the simplest mechanism in the world, but always causes issues, or always causes me issues anyway. Okay, so I don't think it's necessarily the bulb that's the issue, because there's only one bulb. Don't have a great deal of light in here actually. Where's my little... There we go. Gonna have light on the problem. Right, so you're seeing all of this for the first time with me. That's what we've got stashed away under here. I have a single bulb. Doesn't appear to be anything burnt out in it, so it is not, we are not short of a bulb. Right, let's try a bit of wiring chasing. Not the most interesting thing to view in the world. I've got no obvious broken wires. Always concerns me when you have loose wires with nothing in it. Although, 1, 2, 3, yeah, all a bit weird. Right, let's have a bit of a think. So I've got a switchgear cable that comes through. Which one are you? Using the old technique of a waggle. Try and work out which one's which. The lighting in this garage is horrendous. I'd love to have a nice garage with a big strip light in it. Is it that one? Nope. No, maybe. Got a bit better way of lighting this. So it is definitely that one. It's that one. Goes into brown block nut, which is a 3x3. Yes, that's a 9 block, which then comes out doubles back on itself, which is an interesting move. Into the block, into the main. Right, let's just see what I get. So when I go full beam, I get light. Oh, get bright light. I don't. Right. Now I'm going to jump onto the internet and do a little bit of research. Right, well I've done a little bit of looking, but frankly it's an evening task rather than a sat in front of a bike task. And I can't find what I'm looking for yet. The one that I'd previously seen has different connectors on it, and the only one, and that's now gone. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some proper research on it. What it has made me think though is that the top end, the clocks and everything else needs some work, including the top tree. So I think what I'm going to do is just, yeah, is just have a bit of a strip down and see what I can find. Where's the light? There is a really strange switch that Alex did point out. Whether that's some sort of immobilizer, it certainly doesn't seem to be. He suggested not playing with it, but I can't. It's beyond me to not play. Well, nothing's gone boom as I pushed it. Oh, hello. I've got a light. I kind of half pushed it and it's turned the headlight on. Well, that's weird. No. if you half push the switch, the headlight comes on. Right, I've fucking no idea what that is. So that tiny switch there seems to be the light switch. That's mental. So the running light is permanently on, and I wonder if that's an off switch so you don't drain your battery. That's just mental. Why would you do that? So right, so I've got a headlight, I've got full beam. Right, I was just about to put up a picture of various switch gears and say, oh, I wonder if this one would work, and piss around, but that might have solved the issue. That's mental. I have never seen that before. Right, cool, I've got a headlight. Let's get it MOT'd. Yeah, okay. That's fucking strange. Yeah. It's just got a flash. Oh, it has. Yeah, even the flash works. Well, bugger me. This bike confuses me, just generally it confuses me. But it kind of, it kicks you in the teeth and then it gives you a pat on the back. It's just fucking strange. It's just super weird. Right, happy. That's one job done this morning, before 9 o'clock. Yeah, oh no, 9:30. It's got working light. Right, well, I'm still going to do what I need to do though. So I need to strip down the top, the clocks and everything else. I want to swap the handlebars because it's a really narrow poise, and I want to get rid of that gold more than anything else because it just looks tacky, in my humble opinion. So what I've got is, without tripping over, without literally kicking the bucket, I think this is from Mike's kit actually. Thanks Mike, your stuff's still coming in handy, mate. Excuse me. It is a slightly, it's 1 inch wider, but more importantly it's a better colour. I do have the crossbar for it as well, somewhere in a box. So yeah, I'm going to go for a strip down, get that off. Once I've got it stripped down, I might see what those loose wires are for on the side there, on the right switch gear, because I'm thinking they are something to do with the engine shut off, which doesn't work, which, it's not killer. It's literally not killer, it's not kill switch. It's not an MOT-ism, it's not anything else, it's just slightly irritating. Why would you have it and not use it? Now personally, and I realise this is a bit of a divisive point for people, I never use the engine kill switch. Never. I use a key all the time. And I know there's constant debate about what's the best way of doing it and which way you should do it, etc. But yeah, I just never do. So I think I've got enough slack in all my cables to be able to drag those out a little bit further. It's only 1 inch. Should be alright. Yeah, I think I'm going to be fine. Right, I'm going to start stripping down this top end. Now, how do I do this? I can either do the, yeah, I'll do it properly. I'm going to drop all of the switch gear off, pull the bad boy away. I think I can get that off. Yeah. Take the switch gear off, drop it off, get the bar out, then take the tops down. I was just considering then whether or not I just took that off, whether I just dropped the handlebars, did all of this stuff, then it's a bit 6 and 2/3, isn't it? No, I'm gonna leave the handlebars on, drop them, take the top yoke off, sort that out, then do the switch gears. It's a slightly arse about face way of doing it, but it does fundamentally, I think, make it easier to move in and out and to drop in and out, and rather than stripping it all down to the bare bones, purely and simply because I don't really know how long I've got to play today, because we've got other stuff going on. So I'm going to drop down. Yeah, I'm going to drop down, take the top yoke off. Right, I wasn't going to film some of this, but I realised I need to for my own benefit rather than for viewing pleasure. Clock's off, nice and simple. 2 bolts. Just dump it over to the side. Now, obviously, on your top yoke, the main thing attached to your top yoke, apart from your handlebars, is your ignition set, which you don't want to lose or break. So, light off. Do a bit of cable chasing. In this case, it's this one. Swirly, 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 comes up to here, and it's 3 wires. So I've got bloody terrible lighting. Right, so I've got, I think I'm going to call this bike Lord, because it giveth and it taketh away. I cannot for the life of me get that off. I don't have a 30mm socket. I'm going to have to order one. 30mm, 300mm socket. The biggest I've got. No, it's 30mm, you fool. 27 is big as I've got. I haven't got anything that I can get in on that with. I don't have a spanner big enough. Adjustables I just can't get in. I've tried heating it and belting it, and it's just not going anywhere, and I don't want to do it too much because I'm just going to damage it. So, change of plan, order one, do that another time. What I am going to do is just chuck all this back on. I'm going to swap over the handlebar, I think. Okay, so a little bit of arsing around later and that's off. Down there you can see it is a little bit narrower, but fundamentally the wrong colour. Now having a look at the where am I? Yeah, having a look at the brake. Oh, so I've got either snipped off or broken wires going to the engine shut off, and I've got the same on the other end, so that should be a relatively easy graft and fix. Now let's get these bars on first. Right, so bodge wired so far, just to make sure. So I've plugged my ignition back in, so I'm on. God, this feels weird this way around. So that's engine off, engine on. I have a functioning engine switch. Right, let's get this mounted. Right, so that's the business end on, although not particularly sealed there. I'll have a look at that. Throttle still works, which is nice. So run. Boop. Sorted. Right, there we go. There's the new bars. That little bit of extra width that really does make a lot of difference. I found the crossbar on the rentals. I don't see the point of it personally, but hey, it's there. Why wouldn't you put it in? I think it looks quite good. I haven't done it solid because I am going to have to get to these yoke bolts once I've got a 30mm to get rid of that. So I've just literally tagged it all back together more so I don't lose things than anything else. I still need to put the bolts in on the top yoke. Don't forget that and that. Right, what we got? So we now have straight in 118. It does sound good, this bike, I have to say. It does sound good. Let's check them pipes. Really chuffed about that light. Really chuffed. Warming up nicely. It also appears that one cylinder that wasn't playing yesterday is now playing. It's never sounded that good before. responding really nicely. It's entirely possible it just needed to settle. So let that warm up a bit. Right, so we've had a few minutes to warm up, and on pipe 1, Scorchio, pipe 2, Scorchio, pipe 3, Scorchio, pipe 4, Scorchio. I've got 4 cylinders again. I might just run it up down the hill actually. Okay, so literally up down the hill. Use the button now, I've got it. Yeah, literally up and down the hill, and that has cured the low end lag completely. That is a wonderful little bike. It is really nippy, and I think Daniel Barnes was saying about it actually. I know it's if it's the original gearing, which I think it is. I can't see anything on it that looks out of place. They're low geared bike. They are nippy bikes. That's what they're for. But Christ, really nippy. Yeah, that's what it was. Powering it off three of the cylinders, it just lost the low end, and it has cured itself magically overnight. I think it just needed a little bit of rest and a bit of sorting. I'm adamant it's the fuel in, and it's the petcock that is that Alex quite openly said when he sold it, it's knackered, and he had done a temp fix just to prove it worked more than anything else. I have got a new one over there. I'm not going to fit it now because there's no point fitting it and then fixing this tank and then ultimately spraying it. There's no point fitting that first. That'll go on last. That is good enough for me to be confident that it works. So I am chuffed. I'm really chuffed actually. What are we on? I think we're kind of on beautification now. I've got a front light, which I didn't have before, which is weirdly enough an MOT failure if it doesn't have it. I've got a front light. In fact, right, let's do functionality tests. So, indicators, as minging as they are, and I do have other ones to swap them out with. I might actually splurge and buy some new ones. So, right, left, rear, fine. Brakes, I'm not gonna test the rear brake switch because I don't want to pump that piston out anymore. But on the handle, works fine. What else have I got? I've got it light in. I've got a functional horn. I say functional, I think it is only one of the two, so I might have to have a look at that. It'd be nice to have a high and a low tone, I think. I've got all the functions I need. Selected all gears, that's fine. I'm chuffed. I'm moving towards beautification stuff, I think. Yeah. Now on beautification, although I've discussed it on the channel, I haven't told you what I've done. And the simple answer to what have I done is nothing yet. But I have got the paint because it has arrived. So, looking back in time, looking back to how they were originally. So originally you had, they were one colour. There was no real Fandango colour schemes, etc. They were, solid block colour, solid block colour, solid block colour on the front mudguard, all the same colour, and it tended to be a primary colour. The side panels were black with the decal on it, which I'm struggling to get hold of, and I might have to ask around. And I know that Motorcycle Man UK and Nick certainly used to do decal cutting. I might see if he can do me a favour, but I don't know. Colour wise, I've gone for yellow, and the reason I've gone for yellow is because it looked freaking awesome on Rat Boy. So I'm not going to go for my my paint effect that I know others are trying at the moment, which is cool. Have a go. It's a great effect and it's relatively simple. I don't think it would. I don't think it would suit this bike, and personally I don't want to just keep churning them out with the same effect. So he says going for a yellow with the same effect. Now the original didn't have any pinstriping, but I'm tempted to do it on this. What do you think? Same as Rat Boy, saying I'm not going to churn out the same thing, but I think a big thick black pinstripe would actually age this bike quite nicely and just give it a little bit more. So yellow, 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 which will go with the shocks, which need a bit of a clean as well. Probably yellow, maybe black, don't know yet, with a black pinstripe down the middle. I think that's what I'm going to go for. Don't get me wrong, I've got lots to do before then, and the next video is probably going to be trying to do something with this, whether or not I try from the inside and push it out, whether or not I try and pull it out, or whether or not I end up filling it, which is the fallback. Frankly, that is the thickest metal on a tank, I think, so I think I'm going to struggle to pull it, or indeed push it from the inside out, and I may just end up filling it. The side panels fit on and stay on, but I do want to try and build a little bit of a lug on each side. Rear is fine. I need to do something with this bugger's muddle at the back, but we're getting there, boys and girls. We are getting there, and I am really chuffed. Having sounded quite downbeat yesterday, I am really chuffed. Right, that'll do me for this one. Maybe one tomorrow, see how I get on, and it's probably going to be tanky stuff. Yeah, might see if I can just drain it today so it gets a bit of airing overnight. Right, that'll do me. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for just being involved. Like I say many times before, I am a hobbyist. This is my hobby, and it's really nice of you to come along for the ride. Feel free to comment away, make suggestions, tell me where I've gone wrong. Yeah, it's all good stuff. Right, cheers all. I think probably it could do with a wash as well. Thanks a lot. I'll catch you later on. Ta-da.